Hey guys, what's going on? I just finished dinner up and waiting for the Celtics and Lakers to come on, and I had a little bit of time to kill, so I figured I might as well throw another video up. This one will be Patriots off season episode 2, and we're going to address my final thoughts on Sony Michel and how well he did in his rookie season, which I think it's kind of strange because the numbers, if you look at them, he he was he had 210 carries for 930 yards and 7 receptions for 50 yards. So it's not a bad year, but it's not like great either. Like Saquon Barkley had a great year. Zeke had another great year. Todd Gurley had a great year. Again, he's not, for a first all in. I'll get to the main difference why I'm saying why I said those. Why I compared him to those three. It's because he's a first round pick, a first round running back. When you take a running back in the first round, at least to me, it should he should warrant being taken in the first round. And to me personally, I really don't think Sony Michel should have been taken in the first round. I think he's a high second round pick or a mid second round pick. Just the the skill set alone. I mean, there's a few reasons why. One of them is I would be very curious to see. Well, I don't know if they could ever do this, but I would be very curious to see his stats with and without James Devlin in the background, in front of him, basically blocking for him, because it seemed, at least to me, watching the games and kind of I went through, I rewound a couple of highlights and I watched a bunch of footage, a bunch of it, and he always tends to run better with a lead blocker in front of him, kind of clearing the way, which when I watched him in the combine, it was kind of they I remember them saying that at the combine too, that he was good in space, but you had to get him there. But once you got him there, he was fine. His footwork is great. He can find his way once you get him kind of through, past that first level, the offensive and defensive line. Once you get him into the linebackers, he's fine, which more and more through the year, as it progressed, it held true. That absolutely held true. It showed on multiple occasions. There was also occasions, where they'd stick him in the backfield and he'd be alone and by himself, and they would ask him to get 2.5, in between 1.5 and 3 tough, hard fought yards that they would need for second and short, third and short, and he just couldn't do it. He would get tackled, very easily, or tripped up, or just not able to kind of handle those hard-nosed, hard-fought-for yards. Most of the time, at least. He would show flashes where he would run over people and he would manage it. But for a majority of the season, it was kind of, he needed Devlin in the background, in the backfield with him to kind of boost his stats. I mean, if you break it down, 209 and 209 for 930, it's about 4.5, of just under 4.5 yards a carry, which is not. I mean, that's not bad, but it's not excellent. It's not to me. It's not first round running back pick. Like, the the first round running back picks were, they were they're just they're on a different level than him. I think we could have easily got him much later than they took him. Um, I just I think they, for running backs, if you're gonna to me they're kind of expendable if you have a good line, which I'm going to tie all this into. Like, part of Sony's success was the Patriots offensive line play this year as well. I mean, there were games where I don't think it would have mattered who you put as running back with the holes that the Patriots offensive line were opening up. You could have run anybody for 100 yards those games. So I think there's a lot of things. What I'm getting at, or trying to get at, sorry for kind of mumbling and not getting to the point here. What I'm getting at is his numbers are a disguise, basically. They're there's a lot of different factors that add into it, where like that first round running backs can overcome and can still do well, like bad line play and bad play calling. It all kind of ties in and adds up. Like, the Patriots, any player in any skilled position is very lucky, because most of their coaches and most of the coaches on the staff they're very good at finding something that a player is very good at and finding a niche and having him stay in that niche, and they both look like geniuses, and the player looks incredible because they found this one thing that he does really well, and they put him in those positions to succeed. And I think, to me, that was why Sony Michel's season looked so good. It wasn't really because of his pure God-given talent. It was because a lot of the time outside factors had more to do with his success than his overall skill. And I think when it, like I said, like I've been saying the whole video, when you pick a running back in the first round, there should be no other outside. He has to have that God-given talent, and him in the backfield alone. You give him the ball and you let him do his thing, like the Giants do with Barkley, like the Rams did with Gurley, and like the Cowboys do with Zeke. They don't need, they can get to that second level behind the linebackers on their own without a lead blocker. And I think that's why I'm kind of low on his. That's why I don't think too highly of him. Like I said, he had a good year, very good. That's a good year. I mean, 4.5 yards a carry is pretty good. That's not bad. That's nothing. That's nothing to be ashamed of. That's 4 times 3 is 12. If you give him so if you give him the ball every down, he could do it. It's he could move the chains. I just there's a lot of people in New England that are putting him on a real high pedestal, and I just think they need to pump the brakes a little bit. All right, guys. As always, thanks a lot. Talk to you later, and go Patriots.